China's COVID lockdowns are having an increasing impact on its economy. China's retail and industrial output fell substantially as nationwide lockdowns prevented customers from shopping and industries from manufacturing goods, casting a lengthy shadow over China's economic goals. The tourism industry in China has also been adversely affected. But how did we end up here? China's government forecasted in January that the country's economy, which was seeing a robust rebound after the initial pandemic dip, would increase by 5.5% in 2022. Unfortunately, by the second quarter, the rapid spread of the COVID-19 Omicron variant had caused the government to implement emergency containment measures in most economically vibrant cities, including Beijing, Guangzhou, Shanghai, and Shenzhen. The 2-month Shanghai shutdown in particular causes devastating damage to growth, completely cutting off the Yangtze River Delta from the world economy. It also affected investor and corporate confidence. Even if they remain optimistic about the Chinese economy's long-term prospects, too many international and Chinese entrepreneurs and investors have become warier than ever before about doing business there, at least in the near run. The repercussions of this change will almost certainly linger, even if economic activity, which has yet to resume more than 3 months after the lockdown was removed, returns to pre-lockdown levels. According to data issued on Monday by China's National Bureau of Statistics, retail sales of consumer goods fell 11.1% year-on-year, the largest drop since March 2020. According to Reuters, the shrinkage exceeded the 6.1% fall predicted by analysts. According to official numbers, industrial production decreased 2.9% year-on-year, the greatest drop since February 2020, as China's strict zero-COVID policy tangled or even shattered supply chains, interrupting industry activities. The volume of output generated by industries such as mining, manufacturing, energy, and public utilities is referred to as industrial production here. Manufacturing fell by 4.6%, primarily due to the impact of the auto industry. Auto sales fell 31.6% year-on-year in April. Manufacturing includes converting raw materials or parts into completed things, such as cars, through the use of human labor, equipment, machines, and chemical or other processing. China has instituted severe lockdowns to restrict the spread of COVID-19 since the outbreak began in March, limiting workers to their homes and forcing enterprises to close or operate at reduced capacity. For those living outside of China, the harshest lockdowns appear to have occurred in Shanghai, the financial metropolis of China. While Chinese authorities remain bullish about the country's economy, the international financial sector is worried about the global economy. According to Reuters, Morgan Stanley economists forecast global economic growth of 2.9% this year, less than half that of 2021, due in part to China's COVID containment policies. China's tighter COVID-19 curbs have halted factory production and crimped domestic demand, taking a toll on its economy, with export growth slowing to its weakest in almost 2 years, according to a May 10th bank report. China's approach to COVID-19 has limited local enterprises' activities in several ways. Official figures reveal a 22.7% reduction in catering services in April. According to the Associated Press, restaurants in Shanghai were forced to close during the lockdown, while Beijing banned all restaurant dine-in services on May 1st. Meanwhile, the zero-COVID regulation is having a significant impact on China's tourism business. As a result, provinces are lowering travel fees. They are offering tax breaks and even asking locals to help save an industry that employs millions of people. According to official data, the tourism decrease has persisted this year due to increased COVID travel-related restrictions. New lockdowns and mass testing appear to be playing a role as well. The southern provinces of Yunnan and Hainan are particularly hard hit. They rely on tourism revenue to boost their economy. Northern sections of the country, which have a shorter warm weather season, are also suffering. The tourism economy has deteriorated in recent months due to the emergence of a new variant of the virus. In 2019, tourism contributed more than 11% of China's GDP and supported approximately 80 million jobs. Tian Yun is a former State Economic Planning Agency economist. Tian anticipated an increase in interprovincial travel over the 3-day Dragon Boat Festival vacation in early June. But Tian said, if inter-province trips are banned during the Dragon Boat Festival, this year's tourism will be in chaos. A persistent absence of tourism might cut at least 0.5 percentage points off China's economic growth in 2022. People are not flying because of cancellations and cuts in air travel. There are around 35,000 weekly flights within China, This is the lowest figure since 2000. According to official figures, travelers from other parts of the country accounted for 5% of visits to prominent locations around China over the recent holiday honoring ancestors. Hohhot is the capital of Inner Mongolia in northern China. It's famous for its grasslands. The number of tourists who visited there was cut in half during the recent holiday season. Tourism earnings plummeted 53.5% from the previous year. Local tourism aided in increasing the number of tourist journeys to Ningxia, a poor area in northwest China reliant on tourism. Ningxia has made passes to more than 60 picturesque locations available to its citizens for $31. That is a significant discount from the usual price. Despite increasing visitor numbers during the previous 3-day holiday, earnings fell 16.3% year-on-year. Bookings at the Desert Star Hotel in Ningxia's Shapotul Scenic Zone are down 70% year-on-year. Tourists from other provinces cannot come here, so we have to rely on local tourists, a hotel employee explained. It's better than having no one. Beginning January 8th, Chinese visitors will no longer be required to quarantine upon their return home, the government announced this week, sparking a rise in bookings from what was the world's largest outbound travel market in 2019. During the zero-COVID policy, the formerly $255 billion in global spending by Chinese tourists came to a halt, leaving a gaping hole in the Asian market, where countries ranging from Thailand to Japan had relied on China as the greatest source of foreign visitors. International flights to and from China are just 8% of pre-pandemic levels, according to VeriFlight data, although carriers are aiming to increase capacity as regulators relax COVID-driven flight constraints. There is little doubt mainland Chinese are the spark plug for Thailand's tourism recovery, said Bill Barnett, managing director of hospitality consultant C9 Hotelworks. It's not a question of if it will happen, it's now just a matter of how many and how fast. Malaysia Airlines and Vietjet Aviation, a Vietnamese budget carrier, have stated that they intend to return China flights to pre-pandemic levels by June 2023. Chinese airlines are projected to raise capacity significantly beginning in late March, coinciding with the start of the summer scheduling season. According to data from the Chinese travel platform Ctrip, searches for popular cross-border destinations jumped tenfold within half an hour of the quarantine announcement on Monday night. According to Ctrip, the most popular destinations were Macau, Hong Kong, Japan, Thailand, and South Korea. Outbound flight bookings were up 254% from the day prior, according to Trip.com data. This week, the thought of cash-rich Chinese swarming to global shopping districts bolstered luxury stocks, since China accounts for 21% of the world's $371.91 billion luxury goods industry. Some businesses are already preparing for the Lunar New Year vacation, which begins on January 21st and is generally a peak travel period for Chinese travelers. Sofitel Sentosa in Singapore is creating Lunar New Year packages aimed at Chinese visitors, including a hot pot buffet and romantic packages for couples, according to Cavalier Giovanni Vitarale, general manager of that hotel and the upcoming Raffles Sentosa, as the company bets on with a vengeance travel rebound. In Japan, tour bus company Hato Bus said it would resume Chinese language trips that were paused during the pandemic next month, with the goal of fully resuming operations by the spring, according to a representative. On the other hand, Japan is wary of Chinese tourism because of the virus's rapid spread in China. Under new border restrictions that go into force on December 30th, will require Chinese visitors to have a negative COVID-19 test upon arrival, and those who test positive will be quarantined for 7 days. The United States said it would demand COVID tests for Chinese travelers, following India, Italy, and Taiwan in enacting new restrictions, while the Philippines is proposing a testing requirement. However, Australia, Germany, Thailand, and others stated they would not put limitations on Chinese travel for now, with France taking to the social media platform Sina Weibo to highlight it welcomed Chinese friends with open arms.